The moment that I have waited for. Yes, we're going to be looking over the Apocalypse abilities and as well showcasing from MCOC Journals or Otriux's video some footage of the champion in action. So yeah, look out for that in this video. Let's delve into the abilities and as well have a look at the visuals of this champion. I'm really impressed. So again, it's another example of Kabam hitting it out of the park when it comes to the design. Now, look at the glimmer. Look. On the gloves, first of all, just look at the way that the, I'm not 100% on like how these are developed, but the way that the light shines and over the gloves, like there at the bottom, and as well as the character comes around the side here, it's just that glimmer, that very precise glimmer over the armor, which I just think is just such a very good touch. Well done to Kabam there on that one. And as well on the back, just the light reflects in the correct areas and it does show the level of high detail Kabam do put into things. I sort of like, and the more that I look at it, I think it's very clever, but it can be seen in other ways. I know there are people out there that have criticized the way that this character looks, but I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. The A is very clever because it's got the Ankh in, so that kind of Egyptian symbol that's very associated with it. But it's the glimmer, and as well the face. The face doesn't look too bad as well, and just like a nice touch with the tubes coming from the back and going into the arms. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way that this character looks. So let's delve into the abilities. Also, just quickly for those that noticed, I did forget to cover the signature ability in the previous video of Professor X. Just to say, it does look good. It does help towards the prowess potency, and that's fantastic. But as well, I don't think the champion needs to be awakened to be good. In any case, on with Apocalypse. Let's first of all check out the ability. Starting off with the genetic enhancement is persistent charges, something that's good for each type of genetic code. It's max stack of 4. It does seem very scary if you're going up against this in a defense line. So man, I wouldn't like to go up against this champion in defense. I think it's going to be a pretty scary one. In any case, the genetic codes can be helpful for damage output after you've got like 1. And when you've got 3, you become stun immune while striking, which is kind of alright, but I guess it's only with like certain circumstances, more for a defense thing. But there are some applications for offense. And also the 4 genetic codes, you're able to strike the opponent's block with a light attack inflicts a stun debuff. So that can be quite helpful, especially for rotation and aggression when it comes to this. And I'm so excited, so looking forward to playing with this champion. But as well from a defense standpoint, it's kind of scary. Very, very scary. Also, the interesting thing about this champion, which I absolutely love, is it's an XL champion. Yes, if you're looking for an option to take into Variant 2 and maybe future things that require XL champions, this is going to be an option. So yeah, so scary. Very scary, okay. But here's the thing, Kabam have created a god. This is a god. This is definitely Apocalypse the god. Total molecular control. Develop immunity to bleed, incinerate and disorientate effects over 8 seconds while suffering from them. Once developed, these immunities persist for the entire quest. That is brilliant. Each time your opponent evades, gain 10% chance to bypass evade. This is not affected by ability accuracy, reduction, and the chance to bypass evade persists throughout the quest. Man, that is crazy. Opponents suffer 100% purify ability accuracy reduction, so that's going to be helpful as well. And heavy attacks, both hits inflict bleed, dealing a whopping amount of damage. This is a 6-star version, by the way, guys. This will be very different. And as well, refreshes personal weakness, poison, concussion, and degenerate effects on opponents. Now, Kabam have created, in a nutshell, paragraph for this champion, which I'm going to read off and will give you a bit of an idea. And this is the thing, like, this is just sounds insane. The last couple of sentences, man. Anyway, Apocalypse is all about ramping up to empower himself or his fellow mutants. He does this by simply winning fights, which will grant him a genetic code. Apocalypse can choose to keep this genetic code for himself to boost his own abilities or spend them in the pre-fight screen to empower any mutant teammate. In combat, Apocalypse is all about big special attacks. Special attacks 1 and 2 will trigger a debuff based on the last attack landed. These debuffs can be converted into enhanced versions with the special 3. Finally, if Apocalypse's signature ability is unlocked, whenever he doesn't participate in a fight, he enters a deep slumber, allowing him to regenerate health based on how many fights his team wins while he slumbers. Oh, wow, that's incredible. Okay, this is like a touch or a nod to this here. If you've seen Apocalypse the film, so X-Men Apocalypse the film, not that it's like overly impressive, but if you've seen that, and as well if you know the comic book side of things, you'll know about the way that the character regenerates, the way he comes back several times, the way he's got his pyramid, sarcophagus, just the regeneration side of things. It's an incredible nod to that particular comic book arc, story arcs and stuff like that. So yeah, wow. So without kind of blowing my load, so to speak, let's continue on with reading some of the abilities, and in particular, the Horseman of the Apocalypse, which is going to be the important thing. Pre-fight and cross-fight abilities. Wow, this is interesting that this has now come back, because I know Mr. Fantastic was the last cross-fight ability champion to be put in. So yeah, let's see what we got here. Once per quest, if Apocalypse has 4 genetic code, he can spend them in the pre-fight screen to place a cross-fight. On the next fight, the next mutant teammate, excluding Apocalypse, to enter this fight becomes a Horseman of the Apocalypse for the rest of the quest. Horsemen gain the following abilities. Bleed resistance 100%, and indefinite prowess, increasing special attack damage by 50%, 30% ability accuracy, offensive ability accuracy, go unblockable for 2 seconds when the opponent purifies a debuff, once per fight, go unstoppable for 3 seconds when struck. Incredible additions to this particular mutant line, similar to Professor X, but there's like something more special about this. There's also something that goes on similar lines to like Doctor Doom, where he has more of a team emphasis of improving him, with a gain plus 15% attack rating for each mutant on the team, excluding himself. Not that they have to be knocked out, which I think is a better thing. Your fate is mine. All things that are just, wow, just kind of adding more potency to characters. Mr. Sinister's in there, Cable's in there. Storm gets a boost as well. Each hit of a heavy attack into a shocked opponent has 6% chance to inflict an additional... Man, I'm going to have so many synergy videos to do. Absolutely insane amounts. There's one for Storm Pyramid X. There's one for Psylocke. All of these are just incredible little nods with the Horseman of the Apocalypse, and as well just adding so much more. Wolverine, personal bleeds have a chance based on critical rating to be critical bleeds, dealing damage based on critical damage rating. Wow. And then there's one for Archangel. Man, Archangel's getting some mad love when it comes to like synergies. Professor X, and now with this one. God. Each hit of a heavy attack into a stunned opponent has a 10% chance to pause all neurotoxins for 3 seconds. That is effective. If the champion is a Horseman of the Apocalypse, neurotoxin stun durations increase by 30%. Jeez Louise. Man, I think this champion is just already, and we haven't even gone over the special attack side of things, already I'm just massively impressed by this. Especially for the last, say, 4 champions that have been added to the game have just been quite mediocre and just, well, bad, in my opinion. I know players have liked some of them. Well, actually, I don't think anybody really liked last month's characters. And the less said about the month before. Well, the month before I had a Sasquatch and... Yeah, okay, maybe this is... I'm hyped. Honestly, I'm hyped about Apocalypse already. I'm hyped about Professor X. I like both of them. So yeah, this is going to be a difficult month for me to choose if I had to go for crystals. But man, let's read on, shall we? Alright, so I've just dropped down Apocalypse to the 5-star version, just as it's a bit more realistic for players to achieve, and the special attacks seem to get some decent amount of damage, especially if you're looking to trigger off stuff, as it says here, damage over time affects special attacks trigger an activation and it lasts 30% longer. Each hit deals a burst of physical damage for every personal weakness, poison, concussion, or degeneration on the opponent. And it seems to be what you finish off, inflict determined on the last light or medium attack thrown. So if you throw a light, you'll do a weakness. If you throw a medium, you'll do a poison damage, direct damage, reducing health recovery as well. So I don't know if that has like a more of a neurotoxin type vibe to it. In any case, it seems to be about those genetic codes as well. So inflict debuff determined on the last light or medium attack thrown if fighting a mutant, or if Apocalypse has 4 genetic code, triggers both. That's good. Like, it's going to be debuff city for what you're going to throw, and as well from what you're going to see from the SP3. All personal weakness, poison, and concussion degeneration effects on the opponents are re-triggered at plus 100%. Wow, potency. Wow. Paused indefinitely. Yeah, Apocalypse on the face of things does look like a pretty solid champion. All those different types of interactions, interacting with champions that throw evades, the way that some of the debuffs work, and the ramping up of damage based on that and throwing special attacks with the prowess buff. And don't forget all those things that benefit the mutant line and the regeneration side of things, because he can go into slumber. Man, I'm so impressed by this. I really cannot wait for this champion to drop. And the arenas are going to go mental. The amount of money that's going to be thrown at these champions this month, more so for Apocalypse, is going to be insane. So, God, good luck if anybody is going for this in arena, and good luck if anybody is spending on this champion as well. But let's have a look at some gameplay, shall we? Okay, on screen at the moment, I'm showcasing a bit of gameplay of this champion. I think the main thing that comes to mind is there's not a huge amount of big yellow numbers. Where this champion will factor in to be effective for your rosters is a little bit of utility with how it deals with evade-based champions, and as well the way it persists and utilizing it for improving your mutant roster. But I think the main thing is to understand this is a debuff dealer. This is also a champion that needs to be ramped up, and as well the utilization of those passive prowess and throwing of special attacks at the right time, and as well in the right type of way of delivery. So from the point of like creating the indefinite ones, from the point that you throw your special attacks at the right time, going into them. Yeah, there's a lot that needs to be worked out, and I think I need to play about this champion rather than what I see on screen at the moment, which is more of a showcase of the special attacks and gameplay. It's not looking at the fundamentals of a fluid takedown, as there will be more things like, well, look, it's just showcasing the fighting between one and the other from a defense and offensive point of view, but does it show a showcase of huge amounts of big yellow numbers and damage output? No, it does not. And you can see where those debuffs have turned into more of a indefinite. So that's the thing as well. The way that now they're indefinite to the point that like now how you ramp up is going to be so important. So I'll find out a bit more about that when I do the CTP review. But yeah, looks pretty cool, and it's nice to see some nice debuff numbers as well. Finally, don't forget to check out some recent content posted up there, some other content over the far left-hand corner. Check out Rich's Realm, where I should hopefully be able to post something or maybe a live stream today or tomorrow. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.